What's up, everybody? It's Kenny from I-95 Motorsports. Hope you guys are having a new year. Happy New Year. Took a little time off, been doing some thinking, reading the comments, kind of going through things, figuring out some stuff. But we were actually going through some invoices. We figured we'd break some of them down to you to kind of let you get an idea of what you're getting ready to get yourself into. Because I speak to a lot of people on the phone and I tell them how it's gonna go, and they're like, "Oh man, I didn't know it was gonna be that much," or "I couldn't imagine it being that much." So we took the time to actually print some of the invoices we have. I need my reading glasses because obviously I'm going blind. And this one just happens to be a parts labor, like a LT4 complete package is $28,000. The LT4 starter for that thing is $425. You want custom valve covers, they're $12.85 with your logo in them. But that's before we paint them, that's before we take them apart, that's before we go and make inserts for the letters so we can leave those silver. Shorty headers, $538. The Wagner pulley with the 320 amp alternator is $4,300. Like, you could shop most of these prices and see they're pretty much on the dime. Super cooler with fittings, $290. I mean, as you just go through this invoice, you could see like LS radiator fan combo kit, $1,100. Miscellaneous fittings and hose estimate around $2,700. Hydro boost, $975. Like, that's before we paint it. That's before we do anything. Master cylinder chrome, that's bare. The Ford 9 rear end with the axles and gears, $4,800. The bare brakes, $3,200 for rear or for front. The rear brakes are $2,700. A rear coilover kit is $1,100. Upper and lower Metco trailing arms, $836. Coilover spring upgrade, $65. Front coilover spring and shock, $825. I mean, this stuff is just adding up. Custom brake lines, Hydro Boost to Master, $375. Custom frame rail brake lines, $350. Dakota Digital RTX gear positioning sensor, comp and pass, $1,900. A body mount kit, $400. Tie rod ends with sleeves, $150. Center link, $125. And this just goes on and on. Sway bar end link with bushings, $100. Global West tubular lower control arms, $875. Global West tubular upper control arms, $845. Rick's tank stainless steel, $2,850. Vintage AC, the whole kit with the fittings, $2,500. Flaming River joints, Flaming River DD rod, $215. Flaming River polished steering column, $1,450. Painless performance wiring, $800. Power steering reservoir aluminum brushed, $280. You see that total? That's just a quick parts list. That's not even everything. It's close. But this is like how and this isn't anything on this is all bought. It isn't like you can take this pack of cigarettes that costs $7 or $8 and sell it for $108. It isn't like I can do that. So when you guys say these cars are expensive, it's mostly because of the accessories on them. I mean, we have one here. This one is labor as you start. So start stripping driver quarter panel, sand all bondo off to see quarter metal. Unfortunately, no good, needs to be replaced. Start cutting driver quarter. Start fixing inside wheel well, cut old brace off inside, cut the mess off. Start fab inner wheel well, cut brace, welding, welded in wrong spot. Continue metal across top of wheel well. Like, that was an 8-hour day. That was $800 just to do that. Then you continue your metal. Metal, driver side, bending to meet old wheel well. Make front section, inner wheel well, tack well to top section, rear fab section of rear well edge. Tack top section, start fab of bottom section, weld repair section, start fab filler for front lower section of wheel well. Patch panel for inside lower section. Weld all sections together and complete inner wheel well fab. Check quarter panel fitment, grind patch panel smooth. That was a 7-hour day. Actually, that was an 8-hour day. That was an 8-hour day. So this is how this stuff starts adding up. When you have a car that is a rust bucket, that all you're doing is fixing, start stripping passenger quarter panel, sand all bottom off, wheel well edge, start tack bend. I mean, this stuff just goes on and on. Look at this. How many pages is this? This is every day. Every day one of the guys has to turn a timesheet in. Every day he's on the cameras and we're watching to make sure that he's working back there. This just goes on and on. This is all the work done to the car. Every day that was worked on it. Every day. We ain't got time to stick a car in the quarter pan in the corner and not work on it. This bill at the end is $30,600. Actually, total $34,700. Amount paid $30,000 towards that. She's like a $4,000 balance. But that's a lot of body work, paint. So there's a lot that goes into it. Last one is, this one here's chrome plating. Chrome plating and rose golding and stuff like that. This one actually has to be gold plating. But radiator support cover, $600. $600 to gold plate that. Hood latch support, $900. That's the piece that goes in the front of the bumper. I mean, in front of the hood that your hood latches down to. The vehicle model plate, your screws and nuts, headlight rings, $140 each to gold plate, $560. Hood latch bracket, we already did that. Short marker light bezel front, $350 each. Long marker light bezel rear quarter, $450 each. I mean, this thing just goes on and on. Front bumper guards, $450. Caprice trunk emblem, Caprice classic fender emblem, 454 emblems were $70. Moldings for a round grill were $650. Trunk latch was $275. Rear bumper guards was $300. Front door trim, actually the bumper guards were $600. The front door trim was $210. The front window pillar molding on each side was $400 each. Trim for above the headlights was $300. Trim for taillights around the edge was $450. Trunk lid emblem was $400. Front window cowl was $1,000. Top of front window trim $225. Convertible top arms $2,400. Convertible top brackets $750. Convertible top latches $350. Oh my God! Secondary convertible top bow $160. Third convertible top bow $825. Rear convertible top liner bow $1,200. Rear tack bow $1,600. Rear bow $1,600. Header bow $1,100. Jesus Christ! Polished chrome subtract. Front bumper, rear bumper, both those $2,750 each. Rear convertible top window trim, damaged rivets, holes were being welded. That was $1,000. Front fender wheel well trims, $400 each. Rear skirt trim, $330 each. Rocker molding for front fender behind wheel, $280 each. Rocker molding for quarter, $475 each. Rocker molding for behind wheel, $170 each. Door rocker molding, $750 each. Fender corner trim, $50 each. Oh my God, there's a whole nother page to this thing. You guys want to know why this shit adds up? I'll explain it to you. It's real simple. It's all on paperwork. Oh, thank God. Back of hood molding, $200. For a grand total of $30,000. So what do we have in 3 invoices? We have $100,000 in parts to start with. And We have $60,000 so far in chrome plating and golding and just labor to the car, and it's not even finished being painted yet or anything like that. In these, a lot of this stuff is bipolar, some of it is cream. So that's how this stuff adds up. That's how it gets expensive. Not to mention base coat, clear coat for good paint, PPG right now, you're probably looking at around $5,000. You should double clear every car, so you're looking at 2 to 3 gallons of clear you're gonna need for that car. Usually 2, and then you have a little bit left over for other things that you want to do on the car. But materials and stuff aren't cheap right now. Primer is, you know, $250, $300 a gallon. We prime the car 3-4 times. So all this stuff adds up. We just want you to understand how it goes about building a car. When you're looking at a Ken Diggett car or one of those other kind of cars, and they're $750,000, and then you look at the car and it has probably $200,000 in parts. Most of the rest of building that car is $500,000 in labor. Most of the cars we're building are around $100,000 to $150,000 in labor, and whatever you want to do in parts. If you want to spend 50 grand in parts, you want to spend 100 grand in parts, but you're going to spend that to build the car. Especially when you're trying to build a car along the levels that we are. You can build a cheaper car, but you can't shortcut on your paint. You can't shortcut on your wiring. You can't shortcut on any of that stuff. You have to put the money into those things. You don't have to buy the most expensive wheels. You can buy, you know, regular wheels. You know, you don't have to spend 20 grand on wheels. You can spend 10 grand on wheels, and that other 10 grand can go towards painting the car and making it look better. So you have to pick and choose where you're going to go about putting your money into the car, but you can't assume that a car is too much when it's a fucking piece of art. It's a goddamn piece of art. So the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and whatever somebody wants to spend on their car is what they want to do. But just remember every nut and bolt. Gonna start out and show you what we're doing. We have an empty wood room, as you can see. This guy's lazy and he ain't really doing nothing. None of the machines are working. No. So Cody's fucking out here laughing rather than fucking working. Cody, Brian, Bobby goes and they're just mean as hell. All right, so this is what we're working on. Voila, you see it. In the deuce quad. There you go. Alright, so this is Cloudy Days. We built this car probably 6-7 years ago. Bringing it back. We wanted the upgrade on the valve covers. We're going to change the intake on the car. We've already changed up the interior a little bit. We've changed everything to pods and stuff. Redid kick panels. Left the console that was originally in the car, but we redid the door panels. Redid the rear sections with the tweeters, with the kick speakers. So, this is what we're working on. 75 we're working on. Radiator support. We got the fenders. Hood and trunk is over there. This car came in. We're pretty much almost done with it. We're waiting for the computer. We finally got that back. Redid the rims, redid the brakes, redid the wiring. Hopefully now we're going to retune it and get it to run. So that'll be the next thing we do. We're working on olive oil every day. Somebody's doing something. Donald's doing dashboard. So this is his motor. We decided to go with a full billet pulley kit polished. Because things like we can't paint the motor and stuff because we'll lose points. Like we always try to do cars based on show quality. As you can see, we've taken the manifolds off it already to get ready for the headers, installed the pulley kit. We use good equipment to put, you know, your equipment in your cars. We don't have chains all wrapped around the motor. We changed the pulley drive on it to get some more horsepower out of the motor. Everything we can do to these, we stay in line with factory requirements as far as what we do to the motors upgrade. You can see that's the old water pump. These are the fans that Eddie was working on. Now we've taken apart to paint the shroud. Some of the parts for olive oil You guys are not understanding how far we go with this stuff. So I already told you what the bumpers were, and that was to chrome plate them. It was about $2,800. So now you powder coat the insides of the bumpers. Not to mention somebody had to take this all apart and cut all of this stuff out without screwing everything up so you can put it together properly. I mean, the extent we go, we paint the inside of the bumper after it's chrome plated. These are all the brackets for inside the frame. These are the ones, these brackets actually hold, they hold the screws to actually hold the bumper onto the car. So these go through there. We even powder coat that stuff. We don't want any rust. We don't want anything. I mean, this is art we're building here. This is stuff we're doing. We're putting our heart and soul into these cars. Like, you got to understand how much we take apart. Like, all the stuff we have over here that we take apart. We paint transmissions when they're not GM Performance Crate stuff. We'll paint it. We paint motors. We paint all that stuff. This is like a lot of olive oil stuff broke down. We already know we're gonna put custom headlights in, so we go ahead and cut those out and trim them, and don't, you know, chop them all up and make them in squares. We'll powder coat those. Those will be really nice. So each and every individual part in the car has been addressed. So like the brakes, we'll take that apart. All of this will be powder coated inside. I mean, this is stuff you can't see. This will be powder coated. This you can see. You won't be able to see this. This holds the fenders. That'll be powder coated. This stuff will be painted. We haven't really decided what we're gonna do with these yet, but we've taken the brakes apart a little bit. We got our steering box. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with that. We already have the upper and lower control arms. We have to strip the rest of them. We did one already. But this is what we're doing. We're working at this stuff. My guys are working every day. We don't stop working. Interior guys working, wiring guy, you know, everybody stays working. I stay working, you know. We'll have this frame together next week sometime. So this is what we're working on this side. We have 1950, we're building a whole custom front end for it. This is actually my car. We've done quarters, rockers, oh man, inner, outer wheel wells. I mean, it's just rebuilding the whole entire car. I'm still waiting for a floor so I can replace the floor. These are the cars we're doing now. Olive oil, and the 71 outside, their radiator supports. Olive oil's over there waiting for a rear end so I can put the ladder bars and coilovers on that. Working on Lace's car, working. Dave's putting all the front together, glassing this all together for the Eleanor so we can put it all together. Almost done with the front of it, getting everything together on it. This projects we're working on. Juan's been working on this. Donald's been working on the dashboard. Dashboard for olive oil. Custom made. You know, inserts for everything. We're changing the inserts and stuff that we're doing. We're making it a little bit different. But this is how we go about building the dashboard. He knows how he wants it done, so he wraps it, so he wants the body work in it. This is a car we're pretty much getting ready to prime it. We're gonna put our last prime on it and block it. And this one should be ready for paint. Disassemble the nose and everything. We already have a different radiator support inside for it. We already have locking mechanism and all that stuff. That's all already powder coated. We'll just take the front apart, sand it all down, and get ready to paint it. He's doing all the little lines right now. This is how long this stuff takes. Just sanding. Each one of those things, somebody's got to sand inside there. Every time you prime it, that has to be done. Somebody's got to sand in. And just remember, that's $100 an hour. Because in that $100 an hour, I don't bill you for that sandpaper right there. I don't bill you for that filler that he's got on there. That comes in your hour. So actually, he's working on that. He's working on that. He's working on that. Hold of this. I'm actually working on that. Eddie's working on olive oil too, along with Donald. So we got all our bases covered. We work our asses off. We had to cut all the damn music off because he's videoing. But usually the music's blaring. And that's a compressor. And that's on because they're sanding in the back. So yeah, this is what we do every day. We don't drink. Well, cigarettes. I got Bob and Joe. Figured it out.
He's at it. Oh, bye-bye.
Tell your son happy birthday, my brother. Have a good one.
All right.
See how important family is? Get out of here. Oh, you know what? Hey. You need to pull that thing forward. We need to see the stereo system in this thing he built. You give us 2 minutes. You got to see this shit. While he's building all y'all cars, this is something he built. Now this thing, when I tell you, is no joke. When I tell you, no joke. I'm gonna show you real quick. This is what Ed does all times of night. He be here. Look at that shit. Isn't that nice? He's always doing y'all shit nice. Now he's doing his shit nice.
Yeah. Where we want to run it. Look me up. I don't know.
So yeah, my piece of junk over there. 2016. I've been working on this thing forever. Put bumpers on it. It's got a 2015 front axle on it. Little Ford. Or actually just a Dana 60. It's got 28s on it with 40s. It's got an air lift on it. I got 415s, a high pack. I'm still working on my door panels. Oh, I drive it every day. It's dirty. You know, this is what I drive every day. I use it, I tow with it, I tow my trailer with it. You know, so my hitch is all dirty. But yeah, I love this truck. I have a blast in this truck. You know, look, I beat the shit out of it, and paint's still awesome. Paint's still awesome on it. That's good clear. When you use good clear, you use good paint. That's all PPG on this truck. Have fun. This is what I do. You know, I'm a lowrider guy at heart, though. Don't get it twisted. I'm just tired of the goddamn oil. But yeah, definitely a lowrider guy at heart. You know, if I would know who that is if I could see this far now, but I'm so goddamn blind that I can't see. Always got to chop it up with the neighbors, talk to them a little bit. We're right next to like 2 or 3 other shops. One of them does the same thing as us, but you know, we're all cool. We're good. Man, listen, there's somebody much better at everything than me out there. I just try my hardest at what I've been doing, and I love what I do. I've had enough of these cars myself personally, so I know the car inside and out, and I've always been broke, so I always had to work on them, so I always knew how to work on them. So like us, love us, hate us, comment, let us know what time it is.